This is a brief video on completing the programmatic risk assessment that ICCB is using in FY25 and forward. This PRA, programmatic risk assessment, is not very long, and we'll talk about it briefly here. This will be used for grant programs that are subject to the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act regulations. There are some programs that are exempt where we will not be using this, but this will be used for each program that is subject to GATA requirements. And this means that institutions and community-based organizations will need to complete this PRA for each grant opportunity. Again, if the opportunity is subject to GATA, recent updates to the GATA regulations in the state require awarding agencies to use a prescribed risk assessment. So this PRA will be made available with each opportunity. Please return the PRA to ICCB as presented in the instructions on the form and as expressed in the NOFO or other directions for the grant program. The responses to the questions on this PRA will be used to help evaluate the entity's ability to successfully fulfill the grant objectives and to consider any specific condition to apply in the grant agreement. This programmatic risk assessment will be used in conjunction with the Financial and Administrative Risk Assessment, also known as the Internal Control Questionnaire, or ICQ. The ICQ is submitted one time annually through the Illinois Grantee Portal, typically by March of the calendar year. There is a set of brief instructions and background to assist with completing the questions on this tab here. In the PRA worksheet, the fields that are shaded orange are where the responses will be collected. Boxes that are gray will indicate the kind of information or data type that should be in the response. The question will also provide a good context for the response. In brief, the data collection is some basic background information that we filled out here, the grant amount that is being requested for this grant program, information about the gross revenue for the organization for the last fiscal year that information is available, and the source by percent where that information or where that revenue is coming from. So in this example, I have 5% as business unit income, 90% from public sources, 2% from private donations, and I went ahead and filled in the other orange box to say that there is one program that is collecting fees. And it gave it an estimated percent of the revenue for that. We're going to get some information about the experience and existing staff capacity. Here, this is percent that will need to be hired. A lot of these are yes, no questions, and they have dropped down to make the response quick and easy. What amount of these grant funds will be outsourced? This is our one question about outsourcing. And we have some brief questions about partnerships and reporting through here. Again, very short answer. These are actually all yes, no, or quick drop down. Here's another number of years question. How many years of experience does the organization have managing the scope of services that are required under this or similar programs? And there are two that are optional answers. That is the source of revenue here that I discussed a minute ago. And also here at the bottom, there's a comments box provided so that any other information can be offered as necessary to provide context or other things that are important on any aspect of this survey. Thank you for your time completing this survey. And as always, the staff at ICCB will assist with any problems or questions you may have.